So you have been researching racial justice in the UUA for how long have you been at work on this?
1977.
So
When I was at Meadville, Lombard, I started asking questions that I needed to figure out why we were in the situation, or why I was in the situation as an African American that I was, which was fairly isolated. And I've written multiple books on it, but my current interest is on Selma, Alabama. Nation that went to Selma in '65 is dying off, and so I'm interested in, one, collecting the material, but more interest to me is why they went. Why, when King sent the telegram on that Sunday evening after the beatings on the Pettus Bridge, did 45 ministers within 24 hours, Unitarian ministers, along with Catholics and Jews and all others, had showed up, and why over the next 2 weeks over 160 of our ministers were down there in some form, and why between March and September we had an ongoing presence. What had happened in the movement that we were ready. We were just unequivocally ready to go and be present to the African American community in Selma. So that's what I'm interested in. And if we can understand what happened, we can recreate those conditions for whatever the next issue is. My hunch is it's immigration reform. But that's why I want to begin to unpack, to understand what they were being taught in school by James Luther Adams, by Howard Thurman, how is being articulated within the denominational press, within the Christian Leader and the Christian Register. What were they talking about? What were they preaching about? And who were they in relationship to, and what kinds of things? So that when the telegram came, people responded. People responded. Over 25% of our ministry went at some point to Selma or Montgomery for that march. So that's what I'm interested in coming to understand. Not because it's interesting and important, but for the application today.
What do you think you've learned in your other books that are going to come into this book?
The angle on this is different. The other books actually talk about the African American experience. This is actually talking about the Euro-American Anglo experience. So I'm coming at it from that perspective instead of the African American's perspective. So that's the major difference with that. And that story hasn't been told either.
That's really exciting. When do you think the book will be done?
I want to get it done a year prior to the 50th anniversary. So I'm looking for General Assembly of 2014. Sorry, yes. I'm looking for the General Assembly of 2014 is when I'm hoping to get it done.